I was born and grew up in West Berlin, and it probably was a kind of a sociotope, you might say, and a fairly it was it was not able to function and live by itself. It had to be financed by the West. It had to be financed by West Germany. You were exempt from going to the army. There were lots of reasons why people would live in West Berlin, really. It had a terrible housing situation, like a non-existing housing situation. A lot of speculation had to do with that. But it was also unique, not just within Germany or Europe, it was unique in the world. How to describe that was and is fairly difficult for me, because I spent so much time there that once I started traveling as a beginning rock star to other cities and countries, I realized how unique Berlin was. It didn't really occur to me before that. But once the first times I played in London, or the first times I went to anywhere, I just realized how goddamn different that is. How difficult it is to, say, have a drink in London after midnight, or things that I took for granted as being absolutely normal in Berlin were just simply unthinkable in other places. And that did certainly, this particular atmosphere did breed a particular scene in Berlin. The scene was fairly small, but it was so hyperactive that in retrospective, and what is traded now in documents is that it made it look like it's a lot going on, but it was in fact only two handful people that were just doing a lot of different things.
Es wird Wiesbaden warm, wird nichts. Fortuna ist im Geiselhaft. Herzsprung, Kreuzstich, Luftveränderung, Schluss mit lustig und mit der Wegverstellung. Für die Ordnung und für mich.
The band started in a fairly conventional lineup, including a normal drum set, instrument-wise conventional, but it very quickly moved on to replacing the drum set with found materials and found objects. That wasn't really an artistic decision. That was something that just happened more due to for economical reasons than anything else. I don't think we had any particular ideas about introducing styles or using particular ways of making music. We just did the only things that we were able to do. It came to a shock when we first. It came like a shock when we first played outside Berlin. When we first played outside Berlin was Hamburg, second biggest city in Germany, still in northern Germany, which is okay. But I left Berlin for. I probably have been in West Berlin for 2 years straight at that time, and then I left Berlin, went to Hamburg. We played there, and it was so violent and so shocking, and a totally different attitude by the Hamburgers. And I wasn't aware that basically the whole climate is so different in other places. So we retreated back to Berlin.
Katzen, Selbstporträt, mit Kater, Astronomen haben den Schnaps im Weltall entdeckt. Irgendwer oder sie haben ihn entdeckt, daran hat bestimmt was versteckt. Wahrscheinlich zur Sicherheit von schöpferischer Hand markiert. Damit ich ein Traum wäre, ich sitz nicht selbst in den Bahn. Mir nicht an die Wolken auf und die schönen Frauen mir hinterlassen. Und wenn nicht wahr, haftigen Trüffeln schmecken nicht in der Essenz ihrer himmlischen.
I think we are a traveling theater group actually. We have lots of props, that's all.
Ich lasse sie fallen, wie sie immer fallen. Jetzt will nur nicht sich nicht rein, auch nur angreifbar sein. Alles ist immer dasselbe, nur das Land zu grün. Wenn ich weit weg, ganz zu leer, die Erde.
I have scars. Everybody in the band has scars. This band actually has no tattoos. Nobody has any tattoos, but everybody has scars, and all the scars are from different Neubauten shows. But I have not hurt myself for quite a while on stage. Because your body learns, and you never do that on purpose anyway. Things just happen, but your body learns. Your body learns to be careful. Your body learns also to duck when somebody throws something in your direction and you don't even see it because it's coming from behind. But yeah, your body learns. So I have not been hurt for a while. I remember Henry Rollins coming to the Tropicana Hotel in LA where we were staying the day after the show in LA. He played with Black Flag, of course, as he used to do every day, and didn't see the show, and he came that was after our Kansas City show when we were on the way to Los Angeles, and all he could see is like bandages being changed on legs and things like that, and Henry was very impressed, of course, with like the physical aspect of what Neubauten at that time were doing, which was very much manifested in FM Einheit's presence on stage. But yeah. I'm glad I'm glad I'm still sitting here and I'm able to tell these stories, because if it would have continued like that, I wouldn't be sitting here. Before we started the touring in buses in the United States, we were flying from gig to gig only. Flying was an okay kind of thing back then, you know. You went to the airport, you checked in, you flew to the other place, you took your luggage, you went home. It was kind of easy. And you could do that with shoes, even if you had shoelaces in your shoes. So, and you could travel with metal rods and metal sticks and things like that. But no. I can't remember when we did the first American tour in a bus like that. It was probably in the 90s, I don't know, but in between I did all the Nick Cave tours as well, and they were all in buses always. We used to fly in America and take, say, 24 objects with us, like the key essentials and bass guitars and things like that, and then we would go straight from the airport to a junkyard and find things. that wasn't always very easy, and later we usually dropped them just in the backyard of the venue, and when we would come back 2 years later, they would still be there. Sometimes we actually tapped into we had access into what similar copy bands of us are doing, like Test Department, because they have stashes. They have a stash in New York, they have one in Vancouver actually, which we accessed once. We just found out where their stuff is, went to their stuff and used it, which was funny because they played a week before.
In 1975,
Billy Costa and more, Billy Costa and more.
Fuel.
From our initial foray in successes, it wasn't that everybody was shocked or repulsed or anything like that. It's people that saw us and usually came again to see us. But what has changed, especially in between, say, the 2000 tour and now, is 2000 and many tours and many times before, Neubauten still had to convince anyone, to convince that we are still existing, to justify that we are doing what we're doing, to also probably to be just one band, maybe a unique band, but one band. And now on this tour, it is, I don't have to prove anything anymore. We don't have to prove anything anymore. We are not gonna change. We reached some kind of a legendary status that means just this is Neubauten, and that is above or beyond any kind of doubt. And I'm quite happy with that. This feeling was very interesting to see. We haven't toured since 2000, so we started the European tour. We started the European tour in St. Petersburg, and very, very clearly after the first 3 gigs, I suddenly noticed, oh, that's interesting. You just suddenly have only, and the audience consists of only of people that really want to see you and that know what you're doing and that is happy with what you're doing, and you don't have to explain it anymore, and you don't have to justify what you're doing anymore. And so that was a great feeling. That's a really like payoff now after more than 2 decades doing it. Suddenly I don't have to justify it anymore. We embrace even our own mistakes, so we make it all very obvious. It has to do also with the experience with Neubauten.org, which has really changed our relationship to our listeners, which we probably didn't know that well before. Now we know them, we meet them, we talk to them, we have met them in chat, we have read all their comments, we know what they think and how they feel about what we're doing, and also how important it is to some of them. And that gives the band a momentum that is essential for what we're doing right now. With what we're doing with Neubauten.org is also that we're trying to repeat also the pattern of possible independence through that, yes. But we are fully aware also that the technological revolution that is through the internet, through the file sharing systems, etc., is effectively changing copyright situations, which I hope will work in our favor, because I think it should end actually at a point where you're not gonna be able to copyright anything unless it has any kind of value. You know, I would say 99% of music hasn't got any value, so you shouldn't be able to copyright it. You're not doing anything for mankind by doing it. So, this is I haven't thought this to the end, but I know effectively that copyrights have to change, and that the whole, the music industry obviously is going to hell in the moment.
Do you?
And I'm not crying about that.
They built a ship each winter time for love to see before the storm. They just go from A to B. They go around and come around again. Always in construction site, the Starbucks, and maybe another good one.
We're probably simply just much more comfortable with what we're doing now. There is also the aspect that I said before. In 1991, we still had to convince. The idea was always to go on stage and now we show them what we can do, And so we basically want them a jaw-dropping performance, so that everybody in the end just go, "Wow, I saw something really incredible," and then we would go, yeah. That was basically the idea back then, to show the whole might and the whole power of what we could possibly do there, and to lose control completely. A very unhealthy combination of art and life also. But nowadays, there was probably a period where we really didn't care anymore, where we just wanted to do what we wanted to do, if they like it or not. And I don't know how to describe what we're doing now. Now we just know that the people that are there want to actually see what we want to do. Every now and then it happens that there are some idiots in the audience. That's, I guess, some statistical truth somehow. But in general, I don't have to go to a place anymore and be afraid that there will be a substantial share of people that dislike us or haven't got any idea about what we're doing in the audience. And there's not going to be a substantial share anymore that is disappointed or disillusioned by it. There's still people in there yelling for stuff that we have played last time in 1982, but I guess that is normal and that's okay. But I know nowadays that when I go out there, that there is genuine love from the people in the audience to what we're doing, and and I can relate to it in the same way, and that is a kind of nice little ellipse now. I can relate to it in a similar way than I can relate, say, my personal first time that I saw Can playing live. I loved Can. I still think was a great band. I don't know if you should say was or is, but the first time that I saw them playing, I mean, that was, to me, it was just reaffirming everything that I loved about these records. And certainly a thing like that, when I first saw them, maybe I was 15, and it probably gave me the power also to continue doing and listening and being interested in music, and maybe even the power that I'm here now, and that I actually became essentially a musician. At least that's what it says on my tax record. So there are people in the audience now that is a substantial share. A lot of people that have never seen us play before, but have got all our records, have first heard them when they were 12 or something like that, and now they see it and they feel reaffirmed, and they probably feel reassured about their life too, and about their life's values and what they want to do. And that is a great thing about it. That gives me the justification for continuing what we're doing, because I can see that it is not wasted what we've done. There are several things, obviously, that make it more complicated for a European band. One is, of course, the value of the dollar against the euro, which is so bad that we had to lower the wages of our crew, because we simply can't afford to pay them what we pay them in Europe. And for some reason, even the ticket prices have doubled in the last decade. The bands do not get more money, and so for us, I believe this is the last American tour we're playing, because we simply cannot afford doing this any longer. We are down now to the absolute technical minimum of what we can do, or probably even below that. We have to play inferior sound systems, we have to travel all in the same bus, we have to have reduced everything as much as possible, and still it's not working out. It's still so unless there's an endowment for the arts coming on, or something else completely surprising, we cannot afford doing this. It's all right. At the moment I say that, I don't have the feeling that I will never ever come back to the US, but I think it will be a while. Probably it will be when we're even more legendary than legendary. So. Many things have to be set up and changed while we're playing, and so it is careful. We have to carefully plan for our technical personnel to where to change the bass drum, when to bring out these pieces, and when to take them away again, etc. And that is only possible in particular orders. So some key positions are fixed, and then in between there are things that are more loose, and we know that we can improvise or play something unexpected. So both worlds are incorporated in the moment. But there is a set in the sense of a piece of paper on a stage that defines a particular route.
Es wird kaum hörbar, ein fieses Lachen aus der Hochbox. Und in den Gräbern wird leise rotiert. Alles nur künftige Ruinen, Material für die nächste Schicht. Mega, 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 Melancholia, Melancholia, Mega, 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 Melancholia steht über der neuen
that we did is a double album of the live concert yesterday in New York that we have already sold yesterday. Even it was a Clear Channel venue, but we could successfully prove to Clear Channel that we are already doing this since 2000 and fought their patent. Because they're trying to patent that process. Did you know that? They did. When we wanted to do that, they suddenly said, hello, no, we have a patent on it. And now we ended up paying them $1 symbolical for the right to continue doing what we're doing anyway. So one of the names of the devil is Clear Channel, as you know. And this is another Clear Channel venue, but we are allowed to do it. But we're not allowed to film.
That's new.
You are allowed to film. That's just strange. We are not.
Yes, das ist Chance. Wir legen die Blicken auf, was sie sehen und die Tauben glauben, was sie hören.
Perpetual Mobile.
Mm-hmm.
You, what was the experience like recording the album with cameras running and internet broadcasts and what?
The experience was good. We did not know what to expect, and we did not know how it will develop. We kept the whole system very open and very vague first, but it did not develop into a reality TV show, and it did not develop into working under surveillance. We fixed a minimum of 5 broadcasts a month. Each of the broadcasts to be 2 hours, and then we would work outside of these times too. But then it was broadcast. We would play our station ID for a while, and then we would get into work. Would explain what we're doing, and then we get back into work. And it concentrated our work so much better than before. We used to make records, and it took 2.5 years to finish a record, and now we made 1.5 records in 1 year straight, in 12 months. And the fact that we played in this semi-live atmosphere has changed the whole way the record would have sounded if we wouldn't have went to a normal recording studio where you work in an absent and secluded way. You of course never catch this. I mean, other bands have noticed that before, but you never catch this live tension. And I believe we are a good live band, and so it was very fortunate to us to have this strange situation where we are in a recording studio, but we are playing live. We know there are 400 people watching us. We actually see their comments. Very funny things is when we played things like Ein seltener Vogel, and they start singing. They sing the background chorus, and you just see that because they all just type the words and they press return over and over again in the rhythm, and then you have on the piano, you have the laptop, and you just see it scrolling as they sing along, all these different people. It's really funny. Well, we loved it. It has really given the band a lot of endorphins and a lot of positive energy.
Sich regt.
Well, for the record that the supporters get, we have cut out the record company because that record is not released. That is only gone out to the supporters. It's not identical with Perpetuum mobile. It's a different record, and it's not just different in the sense of there are some extra tracks. It is different. There are some gems on that record that are not on the public version, and there are some. Well, it's about a 30% overlap. The original idea was, of course, to cut out record companies completely. To just say, okay, we record this, you're going to get a special record, and then later we can probably do something with the material and release it live, and that will be our profit. Or, I don't know. But once we realized that we want to go on tour again, which wasn't really clear in the beginning, we realized that we have to have a record in the shops. And for that reason we had to record more material, find a record company and release a record that it will be in the shops. And so we have achieved our goal only to 75% of what we wanted to do. But we have not given up, we continue. We are in phase 2 now, we're doing a CD and a DVD, and still the general idea is to put more and more weight and more emphasis on the neubauten.org side of our work.
Excellent. So
Also,
On the counting, easy thought.